Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is Joe Scarice, co-founder of the Creative Birth Strategy House and podcast here on Clubhouse, bringing education, networking, and strategy. I'm really excited about today's discussion. It brings a whole nother dimension. So I'm diving into this into a quick minute. Give me 1 second. I'll be setting up real here, adding myself a link. Another busy day of discussion and strategy. I think today's discussion, be real estate coached or mentored, I think means a lot to me as a service provider. So first, I'd love to just thank our sponsors this morning. Love to thank Mr. Yordell Perkins of Perkatech. He's on also the road of recovery. Let's throw a heart out there for him, and hopefully he got himself hurt with playing a little rocky training, so now he's getting himself feeling a little better. We didn't have the actual podcast yesterday, so let's put our prayers out to him to make sure he has a speedy recovery. And he provides social media strategy and advisory for website design, enhancement, and your presence online. I'd like to thank Ms. Linda Pelagas from Realty 411, who provides national publication as well as national events throughout the country for real estate professionals and investors. I'd like to thank MB Capital, where I'm a referral partner, providing unsecured business lines of credit for real estate professionals nationwide. And I'd like to thank Lenmark Capital, where I'm a senior loan analyst, and I provide asset-based lending for clients that are investors, leveraging their LLC, really not collecting any financials, meaning no tax returns, no pay stubs, no W-2s or 1099s. We're a true asset-based lender providing DSCR, fixed to rent, fixed to flip, new construction, multifamily, mixed use nationwide in all 50 states. So let's just get caught up a little bit on the market. Just a quick reminder of what's going on. Job reports came out. I don't think really anybody is really believing it because they know they're going to fix them about a month later, but they touted a pretty big job report numbers and drove the rates up. So literally eroded anything that the Fed did on the last week's announcement. So it's a true gaslighting to the market right now. Homes are sitting on the market longer. Values are starting to drop a little bit. You're in a fall to winter market. You're in a presidential election run. It's going to be very interesting over the next several weeks in regards to, where is it all going, right? So keep an eye on Mortgage News Daily. Keep an eye on DSC News. I'm always popping some articles up that catch my eye. Hopefully making some impact, but definitely a volatile market. But this actually is in favor of the real estate investor. When there's a volatile market like this, home buyers take a seat back and the investors take a seat forward. So it's going to be very interesting on where this all goes with the rate volatility and the economic concerns that are out there right now. So we're going to get into our discussion here real quick. Not real quick, but we've spent a good 60 minutes on this. Being real estate coached or mentored. I did put a survey poll out there on LinkedIn. Love you to respond to it and give your opinion. Being coached or mentored in real estate can provide substantial benefits, especially for investors, agents, professionals aiming to grow in their field. We're going to break down, hopefully, the benefits of either being real estate coached or mentored. And there's definitely a difference if anybody has been coached or mentored. There's definitely a cost difference and definitely a relationship difference. Accelerated learning is probably one of the biggest things, where coaching provides structured guidance on specific skills like analysis, negotiating, and marketing strategies, where mentorship is a little more flexible. Mentorship offers wisdom from experience, often through informal discussions and real life examples. And then also other benefits is accountability. Coaches hold you accountable by setting deadlines, giving you action steps, and checking on your progress. Mentors might be as hands-on with deadlines, but will often guide and encourage you to follow through with long-term goals. There's always expert guidance involved here. Coaching often offered by professionals who have background in training. Many coaches are real estate veterans with expertise in different areas. Mentorship might have a structured coaching approach. but provide practical knowledge and a big picture advice. Network expansion coaching also offers, introduces you to other professionals in the network, such as lenders, contractors, legal experts, ones that are going to benefit you in your business. Mentorship might interest you to key people, but who becomes partners, investors, or advisors, expanding your professional network. There's tailored advice between coaching and mentoring. Types of real estate coaching and mentoring: one-on-one coaching, group coaching, mastermind groups. I'm involved with all three of those so far. Then there's the mentorship, informal or formal, like the pros and the cons. Is it long term? Is it short term? Is it structured? Some real key differences between coaching and mentorship, I feel. Coaching is very structured, where mentorship is a little less formal. Coaching is specific skill development, goal setting. Mentorship is more broad, career long advice and life lessons. Also, like the duration of coaching, short to medium terms. Mentorship is long term, possibly years. On the cost, typically paid hourly or package on the coaching side. Mentorship is often free, but can involve paid programs. And then the relationship on coaching is a professional real estate with clear boundaries. Mentorship can evolve into personal and ongoing relationships. So coaching is ideal if you want fast, structured learning with clear outcomes and accountability, where mentorship is ideal for those who seek a long-term relationship with seasoned professionals and want to gain insights over time. Both coaching and mentorship can accelerate your growth in real estate, but choosing between them depends on your immediate needs, long-term goals, personal learning preferences, and some investors even opt for both: a coach for structure, skill-based guidance, and a mentor for broader career and life advancement. We'll start with ladies first, of course, as always. Good morning, Melissa. Welcome. Brief overview: who you are, what you do, and thoughts to being real estate coached or mentored.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Clubhouse. I am Melissa King, owner-operator at One Last Eye LLC Virtual Assistant Services. I offer realty, bookkeeping, and office management services to my clients, who are mostly small businesses and entrepreneurs. I'm also a state of Michigan licensed referral agent and notary here. Beautiful day in West Michigan. The colors are muted, though, unfortunately. It's been too dry here. You guys have had a lot of rain down there, so hopefully your trees are prettier. For today, I actually prefer mentorship over coaching, because I've always been a really good student. I can follow a program. You put deadlines in front of me, I'll absolutely do that. Personally, as you can tell, I've been listening to you for almost 2 years. I like this mentorship. I've learned a lot from you. I've learned a lot from Justin, Joe, Travis, even I don't remember the gentleman's name on REI homepage, but I can see his picture. I learned a lot just a couple weekends ago when I was on here. And as I'm still trying to find my own lane, that's what I prefer. Like I said, and you had put in there, coaches give you the program, your deadlines, and you can follow it. I've been in a couple of realtor situations in brokers' offices where I was the office manager or the admin, and they wanted to put me onto teams, and I noticed that they all bought into coaching programs instead of did more of mentoring. And I felt that a lot of those brokerage, and they still do, they glom onto those particular coaching programs, and they forget about the mentorship part. And I think that's the most important, because people want to learn long term, at least in this industry. That's what I've noticed. And I've been observing a lot of people in my group and asking them before to figure out my strategy. I'm one of those. I was the youngest in a family of 6, 3 older brothers. So I've always observed what not to do and what to do. And that's kind of how I live my life. So I'm always observing first and learning, and then I approach things. Does that make sense, Joe?
Yeah. I feel like you kind of appreciate more the personal development than the actual gritty information on the subject. Kind of getting your mind in check, because your accounting background, the bookkeeping background, you got to be accountable, right? So it doesn't really have to pertain to your industry. It's a matter of keeping your mind on track and on direction of what you're trying to accomplish. And I think a lot of real estate professionals lose sight on that because no one's going to build your character. Okay, you got to build your character by learning from others that follow integrity. So, um, we all belong to some type of real estate investor group, and we've met very questionable people, and I feel like we've met very integrous people. And you need to be able to have intuition to follow a structure of personal development. Okay, so example, I was in the banking industry for what, close to 18, 19 years before asset-based lending and I found each other. And I hired a coach because I wanted to kind of feel, I never wanted to feel like if I went into a room, like there was any competition. I just wanted to go in there and feel like a host, feel like somebody that just, hey, how are you? Didn't really want to run into any type of adversarial environments. You're always going to run into that because they're just people that are just naturally adversarial, and you need to be able to facilitate that with a solid, confident mindset. And I think people lose track of that in the real estate space because there's a lot of uh, I don't know, I don't want to say attitude, but there's definitely a difference between being mentored and coached. I went toward the mentoring um, in early in my industry, and then I've strictly been getting coached for the last decade. So the coaching has allowed me to focus on specifically what I want to do and what I want to accomplish week to week. I don't set yearly goals anymore. I'm almost granulated to weekly or daily goals. And it also ties into my social media as well. I'm very committed to the consistency and continuous. And I learned that from coaching and personal development and having breakthroughs and transformation and actually, almost traumatizing and catastrophic events in my life, meaning having a stroke and recovery with health and holistic measures. So I think health also ties into my coaching because I need to stay focused on keeping myself in a correct place to be. So I think there's an opportunity to identify both, maybe with somebody that has the experience as well as life experience in personal development. So, Melissa, I just want to get back to you on that. Some thoughts to that, and being part of a real estate investors group and being a bookkeeper, you're not always looking to identify with real estate investors, but you're looking to identify with people. So, you know, just want to get some additional thoughts from you on that.
Absolutely, I liked what you said about it. It's how you make people feel, and that's the best way in mentoring. And I think coaching is a little bit, yeah, it's that deadline thing, and people don't. The older we get, it's harder for us to meet deadlines. We get set in our ways, and I think more people do need to learn to do personal growth, especially us Gen Xers. It's too easy just to sit on the couch or hang out in your basement and play video games, Joe. I think so. It's all about putting the action behind it. And you do have to find what works best for you. Coaching, mentoring. And that does, like you just said, you started out mentoring and then you went to coaching. So it would depend on what stage in life you're in. But definitely networking is the best way to do it. Get out there, join some groups. We had a casual Friday networking group. This is a meeting that I go to at 7 in the morning before my 8 in the morning every Friday. Sometimes we can do Zoom, or I'm just down the street right now in my temporary rental, so I go and hang out with the guys. And we talked about, it was Visitors Day last Friday, and everybody got vetted. My point I'm getting to is the integrity. And that's the biggest thing. Work with integrity and make sure that you're making people feel good about it and yourselves. That's what I try to do. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you very much. And personal growth refers to the ongoing process of improving one's knowledge, skills, behaviors, and overall well-being. It involves self-awareness, self-reflection, and conscious efforts to evolve as a person. The goal is to become a better version of oneself, both in personal and professional spheres, especially in real estate. Self-awareness is number one, emotional intelligence is number two, mental and physical health is number three, skills and knowledge is number four, number five is goal setting, number six is adaptability and resilience, being that chameleon, and then number seven, which everybody has a struggle with, time management. Anna, good morning and welcome. Thank you for your patience. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to the discussion this morning, being a real estate coach or mentored.
Good morning. Margalo wants me to coach her, but I said no because I love her. No, I'm teasing. So I've never been an actual coach. I am a certified mentor. However, for me personally, I've never been drawn to the idea of being someone's coach. A coach of, yet I've been coached for many years, and I've had many coaches, expensive ones, inexpensive ones, different ones. Right now, I have a wealth management coach. And so I think that with coaching, hey, Melissa, that's cute. Your gift, whatever they call those things. Anyway, so I think what's changed for me over the years is getting more granular and identifying what type of coaching I need at different stages of my career and my business, and being more specific about it rather than a generalization. What I will say is that when I started my real estate career 12 years ago, I started with a business coach, not a real estate coach. And I think that it was an absolute tremendous difference to my career versus those. I had a mentor for real estate and how to real estate, right? And how to not get sued and how to not put my clients in harm's way. That was mentorship. But choosing a business coach rather than a real estate coach, I think made all the difference in my overall career.
Excellent stuff, Anna. And I know, from the EXP experience for yourself, you're now kind of giving back in your downline and helping people grow out their downlines and having, consistency in deeper discussions, because this is a very volatile market. A lot of realtors have not been part of any other real estate cycle, so it's hard for them to adapt. And personal growth in an individual journey, it can lead to improved relationships, career success, and happiness and fulfillment. With real estate mentoring, it really depends on your experience level. Like, where are you, right? And what are your goals? Is it education? Is it accountability? Is it networking? And then also, what are the financial considerations? Do you have a full-time job and you're trying to do this swing the real estate business part-time? What's the cost versus value, and what's your ROI, right? And then learning style, hands-on learning or theoretical learning. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that just love YouTube University. And then there's a lot of people that want to be hands-on. They want to go to mastermind events. We offer a mastermind event every second Monday. So people like going to that, and they feel comfortable. There's not a individual speaking and staying in front, where it's a facilitation of talent in the room. And then you got to find the personality fit, the compatibility. And then, when real estate mentoring might not be for you, because maybe, are you a self-motivated learner? Is there limited financial resources? Maybe it's a cash thing. I get it. And then, are your goals really unclear? Like, have you really figured out really what you want to do and what you want to be, right? So some thoughts there. So Margola, good morning and welcome. New speaker up top here. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to being real estate coach or mentor.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Anna. Welcome back. Thank you, sweetie. When did you arrive on our shores? Like Friday night. What's today? Sunday? Friday night. Late night. Was it good? Yeah, it was awesome. It's always nice to be away and take time away. It's funny because I've been away for 2 weeks and I come back and it's like, okay, what's gone on? Like, I have been so out of touch, like hardly had my phone with me. I brought my cell phone this time. So I was in Italy, for those who don't know. And I've gone away and actually left my phone at home on purpose, didn't forget it by accident. This time I did bring it. However, I didn't have it with me all day. And then at night, I would just check in because I was 6 hours ahead anyway, so that kind of worked out nicely. And, just answered things, and then that was it. Like, so I really had no idea what was going on in the world, in real estate or anything. And it's really nice sometimes to just check out.
So thank you for that, Margola. Let's get back to the subject at hand. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Anna, in Italy. Margola, your statement or your question regarding be real estate coach or mentored.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
My name is Margola. I'm a real estate associate broker in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
That's my hustle in Brooklyn, New York. And my position of coaching or as a mentor. So I have been coaching, and I have not found that it really works for me. As Anna correctly said, I'm dying to coach me. I think it's important when it's the right person, the right fit, because a person who coached me, I wasn't really helped in getting, and it wasn't money because I didn't have to pay for it. My brokerage paid for it. That time, the hour a week, it wasn't worth my time. So it's important for the right coach, and yeah, it just being on Clubhouse and being coached on Clubhouse has changed my business for 10x, 100%. So when it's the right person, 100% I'm up for it, no matter what the price. Price is irrelevant.
Great stuff. Thank you for your follow-up there, Margola. In coaching and mentoring are both very valuable methods, right, of professional development, but they differ in approach, relationship dynamics, and the goals they aim to achieve. Below is I really want to make sure you understand the difference between coaching and mentoring. The pros to coaching is goal-oriented, structured approach, expertise in the techniques, objective feedback, accountability. The cons to coaching is short-term focus, less industry experience, cost, and limited relationship. With the mentoring, it's long-term focus, industry-specific knowledge, personal growth, networking opportunities, collaboration, an informal relationship. Now, some of the cons are less structured, no specific performance metrics, no mentor availability, like mentor availability, could be different, and the compatibility. So you really need to understand what your goals are, because I think coaching is more short-term and mentoring is more long-term. Coaching is more highly structured. Mentoring is flexible. Coaching on the expertise is kind of different and methodological, where mentoring is more industry field specific. On the coaching side, again, relationship is more transactional, time bound. Mentoring is deep, ongoing relationship. Coaching is focused on accountability and performance, and mentoring focused on guidance and support. So my focus with the individuals that work with me, and I guess I'll call them more of mentees. I don't set like boundaries. I just give them insight. We have deeper discussions. We set realistic expectations and goals for one another, whether it's introductions, posts of social media posts, collaboration on video work, collaboration on networking events. That's mentoring, okay? Because example, not everybody is an event planner. They just know how to put on events. A good event is planned correctly. Not everybody plans a good event. Some people just put on events to have events. So you got to really work with somebody to understand it. Like right now, I'm working with probably 3 to 4 different people that are putting on events, but I'm helping them coordinate it to get better results and give them better structure. Mr. Justin Jefferson, good morning and welcome. Brief overview of who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, being real estate coached or mentored.
Good morning, everybody. Justin Jefferson, in Southern Louisiana market currently. This topic is But they also help. Which learning something. But you're already doing that. Still helping you.
Thanks, Justin. So I feel what you're saying. It's not about just the me. It's about the we. It's we. It's no I in team, right? The knowledge transfer, right? That is, I think, the biggest practical insight, and the local market expertise, I think, is important too. The guidance on investment strategy and strategic planning, risk management, building. I think also people lack confidence, boosting self efficiency and decision making skills, being competent, I think is so huge. And I think through the networking opportunities and the access to networking, I think people come out of their shell. Okay. I think there's definitely a collaborative opportunity in being mentored. And I think there's a personalized feedback, tailored advice, problem solving, accountability, goal tracking, and motivation, and avoiding costly mistakes and legal and regulatory guidance too. Like there's, I put some polls out, understand who's going to be your best partner in your power team. And irony enough, nobody picked attorney and CPA. They picked real estate agent, wholesaler, and mortgage lender. It was kind of very interesting. And I think mentoring helps you learn negotiation tactics, deal making skills, contract reviews, developing the long term vision, big picture thinking, exit strategies, personal growth, being resilient, adaptability, emotional support. I think that's big in real estate. I think people walk in with a lot of doubt. It's a necessary strategic advisory environment and ongoing learning. So, Mr. Martella, Joseph, welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and being real estate coach or mentor. What's your thoughts there?
I sat down with a coach, with an executive coach before, and I was kind of turned off by it, and then I started looking at it. Right. So the reason why I was turned off, I was sitting down on my professional job. We were having some discussions, and I said, "Well, what's your experience in leadership?" Right. I'm sitting here leading a team of 300 plus men and women. What's your experience? Oh, I've never done any of that before. So how are you going to coach me through this if you haven't done it? You don't have the experience. And then I was talking to another friend of mine who said, "Oh, I'm going to become a life coach." I'm like, "Your life is a hot mess. You're going through a divorce, and you're just a complete disaster, right?" So I serve as a mentor, and I look at mentorship as more as the informal stage. It's something that you can't force, and I think mentors serve many different parts, right? So you may have a mentor in real estate, you might have a mentor in relationships. There's not one person that fits the bill. Um, I've mentored many people, especially in their professional careers, who have gotten some good promotions as a result of it, right? individual sat down with me yesterday, just over coffee, and just started looking at a deal. And I said, well, why don't you look at it this way? Oh, I never thought of it that way. So I think I look at a mentor, and again, I don't think that you can force these relationships, right? You have to click with this person that is going to sit down and either coach or mentor you through the way. And it doesn't always cost money. You have to find a person with the experience. But, you know, you also have to look at it, and you look at it as advice, but there's a line in a speech that I absolutely love. And it says, be careful with advice. Advice is a form of nostalgia, which is wishing the past away from its disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than what it's worth. And it's an amazing line in that speech. So you have to be careful, and you do have to do your research. Who's giving it to you, right? Especially if you're paying for it, make sure you're getting the experience behind it. And that's really what I have for that, Joe.
So let's jump into real quick your thoughts, because you provide a dinner and deals. You bring 30 to 40 people in a room, and you're trying to, I would imagine from what I've seen, I've been part of, you're trying to allow them to have some breakthroughs in one, verbal skills, because a lot of people are just naturally introverted. But what do you think people are walking away? What's your objective in your mind when you walk into that room and you know 30 people are going to be in there with all levels of experience? What are you trying to accomplish for those real estate investors with that networking event? What's the crux to it?
So the accomplishment, right? Number one, I don't have anything to sell, and I have nothing to gain out of it, right? And the whole point is in that room is for me to give back to what I wish I had when I was starting out investing. Being an open book, and you were there the other night when I went through my numbers, right? And I started talking about the performance and share it with everybody. So the whole point is, right, when you get started in something that you don't know, is fearing the unknown. And I'm trying to wipe that fear away and let them know, hey, it's okay you're going to make mistakes. Everybody does. There's no such as perfect, but this is my blueprint. This is what I worked for me. And I'll be more than happy to guide you along the way. I want people to know it's okay to ask questions, and it's so that there is a support network around them, whether it's not just me, but it's the person that's sitting across from or next to them, and it forces them to have that conversation, right? Because it's very intimidating, especially for some people, to just get up, shake their hand, hey, I'm so-and-so, this is what I do. So you bring the people together, everybody has a common goal, and you force people to talk. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be successful in life, you have to have a conversation, right? Sitting in a room by yourself is not necessarily always going to make you money, right?
Great stuff. To me, I think coaching or mentoring leads everybody out of being a follower into being a leader, and having clear communication skills, clear and effective and open and transparent. Okay. I think self-awareness should be coming from it. You should be more self-aware of your surroundings, empathy, and emotional regulation. And your decision making from an analytical thinking or decisiveness or even problem solving. Travis, thank you for your patience. Brief overview who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion, being real estate coached or mentored.
Hey, morning, Joe. Morning, everybody. I'm Travis, and as I'm thinking about your topic, I had to go Google it. Like, what the heck is the difference between the two, just so I have a clear understanding. And I think a lot of people have already hit the nail on the head. And so, what I would add to that is, as I look back through my life and what I've done in real estate, when I first started investing in real estate, I had a mentor. And, I guess he wasn't really as close a mentor as I would have liked, but he taught me some things. And, but if I just think about people in my life, I've had plenty of mentors. I've had some coaches, right? Like, not somebody that I've paid, but coaches like in sports, and I've been a coach in sports. But as I think about the two topics, or the difference between the two, and I think back, okay, when I was consulting, I was I guess you could call that a coach, right? You're paid for a specific task to do something that you know how to do. And I get like what Joe just said about hiring this guy to, help him be a better leader, and the guy's never led anybody. Like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you hire something like that? But really, in my life, having mentors has been the best benefit I could have. I think of them more as, somebody that's discipling me into being a better person, as to being a better person following Christ and his path and everything. And yeah, it'd be great to grow your business and become more successful financially, and that's all good stuff. But really, who's mentoring you into being a better person, into loving people better, and sharing your experience with them and letting them know that it's okay when they screw up, and and that you're there for them, even if they're screwed up or whatever, that you're there. And I think if you can find people like that in your life, they're going to have much more of an impact on your life and then your relationships in your life, and somebody that you're paying just to learn whatever. That's my thoughts.
Travis, thank you. I really appreciate you. You definitely helped remind me of somebody that's no longer with us, a very close friend of mine. When I had the stroke and I could barely walk and talk, he sent me some really serious audio video compilations to get me out of bed and get myself back together. And I don't think without him, I wouldn't be where I am today, health wise. I made a promise to him that I was going to stay healthy for the rest of my life. And my health and my health has helped me become a better person. I feel a more open-minded person, but also a much more successful person in my own mindset. In my heart, I feel like it brought me back. I was blinded by being unhealthy and being upset, and it gave me vision and strategic thinking again. It gave me innovation, open to possibilities, transformation, like terms like that. And now I'm addicted to listening to some really intense coaching modules online every morning. Every morning for 2 hours, I'm listening to something to keep my brain on track while I'm at the gym. Okay. Every day. I don't go to the gym 3 days a week. I go 7 days a week because I feel life is 7 days a week. So why don't I treat my life like that? Right. So I think it ties into what we do as real estate professionals and being accountable and being there for other people and being a support mechanism. So inspiring and motivating others, where people don't have all that encouragement. They need that. They need a lead by example and a building of positive culture. I think it's very important. Steve, good morning and welcome. Brief overview who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, being a real estate coach or mentored.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It's funny. This is a great topic. I actually started REI homepage as sort of a centerpiece for everything I do. I'm a broker, I'm a wholesaler, I'm a landlord, I'm a flipper. And I'm in my brokerage firm. I don't want to be a competing broker. I want to eventually have a big enough team where I can just coach and mentor and guide my team to grow. And even though we only have 5 right now, I'm already just passing them a lot of deals and a lot of leads. It's better to watch them grow them. And I've taken coaching and mentoring and even masterminds, and I want to go see yours once in a while, but I'm a couple hours away. But for me, when I teach or when I coach or when I have someone looking to guide, I find my coaching, which I call tactical, sort of how to do this. I always try to lead it into a mentorship or a partnership relationship. Say, listen, okay, I'm going to teach you wholesaling, and whatever the fee is, fine, maybe not. But on the other side of it, when you start doing it, let's joint venture on it. Let me reimburse you my course fee out of the profit we made together, because I think it's much better to sort of bring someone, you teach them to fish, or you can feed them for a day, or you can teach them to fish, basically. And that's also why I'm experimenting with just starting with creating a little daily mastermind thing, for people to come to, because I'm trying to figure out who in my world, or who in my whatever,
can benefit from the coaching, the actual, yeah, if I'm right, the tactical, the how-to, versus the mentorship or whatever. And I'm actually being coached in coaching by a guy who does, seasonal lifestyle coaching or whatever. His whole thing is the long-term consulting. $1,000 a month for the foreseeable future. I'm new to that thought process, that whole world. But to me, I think coaching is personally more tactical. I think I get a lot of, okay, I need to learn how to edit video. I need to learn how to whatever from that. For me, I'm looking for a mentor to guide me. And okay, here's how to think about the future. Here's how to plan your real estate strategy, kind of like the stuff Joe brings up here. How do you look at the the different things going on in the market? I've learned so much from Joe about, wow, I never even looked at that having an impact up here in my little puddle of northeastern Pennsylvania. So that's kind of what it's kind of what I have to add to it, or when I'm trying to, as I'm launching an education sort of partnership, whatever business, trying to navigate that. So I'm always looking for input because I'm just, I've only got a few dozen students. I'm just trying to navigate my way through and find what works. The last thing is that I would throw out is that, as making sure you're asking the right coach the right questions. If you brought somebody, you ask them anything, of course, but if you brought someone on board who has a specialty in business development, maybe they're not the person to help you with a real estate question. And I found with one of my students, they brought me on for real estate. We ended up talking about their life and relationships and how it might be getting in not the relationship, but like what is going on outside of this getting in the way of what they're doing there. So sometimes you need that third party perspective. Anyway, sorry, I kind of went on for a while there, but anybody needs me, please text or reach out. Thanks.
Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate that. And I think the underlying thought there is team building. Fostering the collaboration, diversity, inclusion, developing others. I love helping in the development of my power team. Like, I love bringing more people on where I can give back, and hey, listen, it becomes a reciprocal relationship. But time management, I think everybody's enemy. Prioritizing and delegation. I do more of a Brian Tracy technique with all my emails. I treat everything, every email the same. I don't jump around on my emails. I get everyone completed in a prioritized environment. And by the time my day is done, the only emails that are left in my inbox are ones that I'm going to have to address the next day, or if I have to go away for a day or two, it's on the front line of what I need to address first thing. Okay, so I've done a lot of training with Brian Tracy. I've done a lot of training with Landmark, which was a really great development for me. I had a coach getting into my mindset and accountability and my consistency with things. So I think leadership skills are a big piece of the pie to get you to you really, when you're done with coaching or mentoring, you better not be a follower. The objective is to be a leader, right? And you need to have that interpersonal skills, strategic and emotional capabilities in real estate. I have never met a successful real estate professional that was never confident, competent, and not cocky at the same time, that's done really well for themselves. You don't have to be cocky to be good at your craft. You got to be competent and confident. There's a big difference between cockiness and competent and confidence. And I think people get lost in that and kind of lose focus on the people around them. And then it's no longer mentoring and coaching anymore. Linda, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, being a real estate coached or mentored.
Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, everyone on Clubhouse. I hope you're doing fantastic this Sunday morning. And my name is Linda Pliagas. I'm the owner of Realty411.com. We provide news and information to help investors in their journey. And we also publish magazines. We host events, podcasts, as well as webinars. Now, in regards to mentoring, there are many programs on the market that are sold to investors. And I'll be honest, I have paid for some education. Not a lot of money, but I have invested in my education. But before anybody buys any type of coaching or mentoring program out there, I would advise them to look for resources and learn and grow from, mentors that are available to you for free, such as books. Investors can find amazing resources at your local libraries. Go check out some books on real estate. They're there, they're available for you. I love libraries and I think they're so underused in our society. In fact, we started our Realty 411 events at a community room in a library, in the one in Marina Del Rey. Next is the University of YouTube. There are amazing resources available on YouTube, and I've actually interviewed many successful real estate investors in my network, and they told me that they acquired a lot of great information and resources from watching videos on YouTube by successful brokers as well as successful investors. And of course, visit your local real estate group. They provide amazing resources and a wealth of knowledge that's available for everyone to tap into. Many of them are absolutely free. Some of them charge a nominal fee, but they're so worth it. Also, network with other people, get to know them, and when you find a person that's successful that really like and that you look up to, definitely spend time with them and ask them if you can, what's that term, shadow them. Say, hey, I really like what you do. I admire you. Would it be okay for me to shadow you one of these days and just, watch you work and learn from you while you work throughout your day? And so many people that are leaders and mentors and successful, they really do want to help others and they want to see others, succeed and grow. I'm sure a lot of them would love to have someone shadow them for a day. And they wouldn't mind it at all. In fact, they would probably be really, like, wow, they would find it to be really neat that someone would want to spend the day with them and try and learn from them. So these are just some tips that I have. I do believe in coaching and mentoring. I think it could do a lot for you as an investor. But in order to get to that level, you have to start making some money in the industry first. So before you spend any money, I think you should try and capture as much knowledge as you can with some of these methods that I've mentioned, and also spend every weekend on Clubhouse here at the Creative Burr Strategies group, because you're going to learn amazing information from Joseph and from all the leaders that he brings up here. Back to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, I really do resonate with what Linda was saying. Successful real estate professionals often share a combination of skills, traits, and habits that allow them to thrive in a competitive industry. Number one is strong communication skills, active listening. It's taken this, it's been a battle in being a better listener. And I think this podcast in this room has helped me with that, being clear and persuasive in my communication and allowing people to talk and just stay mute till they finish. That is a art form all by itself. And then the idea of having market knowledge. Okay, I need to stay up with market knowledge. Like, we had somebody on the call yesterday that talked about Mobile, Alabama, and I produced very specific data that we went into in depth, and it was in her market. I could relate to what she was trying to accomplish in getting her words out. And then number three, a successful professional really knows the art of networking, how to work a room and networking with people. getting in and out and introducing others and being the host of an event without being the host of the event, and being persistent and resilient. You're going to have some shitty days and you're going to have some fantastic days. Treat them with evenness, and problem solving skills are going to be very important. Every transaction comes with a challenge. In our world, in my world, in the lending space, it all comes with a little hair. There's always a little hair to the deal. Okay. And again, getting back to time management and organization, multiple clients, transactions happening simultaneously, prioritizing tasks and managing your time and moving parts and staying organized and being client centric as well, and still having attention to detail. And you have to have tech savviness. Like, I've hired a social media company to help Yordell and myself to advance my social media presence and his and the podcasts. And you need to have financial acumen. You got to know what makes sense to spend. Big dollars don't always bring big results. Like, I've been offered to go to these mastermind events for $30,000. I just don't see the cost benefit. There's such local talent where I can pay them. I can just go to a personal development course to keep my head on track, or hire a personal trainer to keep my fitness, or a nutritionist to make sure I'm eating correctly so I stay very focused in what I'm doing. And you need to keep the integrity in place. It's not all about you. It's all about your team and your loved ones, okay? And being adaptable. The real estate market is dynamic. It's influenced by changes in the economy, regulations, and buyer behavior. Successful real estate professionals adapt their strategies and business models accordingly. Deborah, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, being real estate coached or mentored.
Good morning, Joe. Thanks for bringing me up. And I'm a realtor in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been on Joe's show for a while. And when you mentioned that mentoring, Joe, I really have to say that you have mentored me in this space as far as, investing and lending. And so I really appreciate your room, because your room has been my mentor, for a long time. And, everybody sharing and, like Linda said, all that. So I have been coached. Tom Ferry, as far as, many people know him as the real estate, big, huge coach. But like Linda said, YouTube, you could go to YouTube and find anything now. So I think there's so much in our fingertips, or, on the computer, that we can just type in and, it's right there. So I really, before I spend anything, I do read. So I agree with that. Get a book, read, and read all about it as much as you can. And sometimes then you don't even have to pay for it. Like, somebody wanted $200 for consulting, and I'm like, okay, maybe after I read your book, So anyway, you got to be careful, because there's a lot of people out there, and unfortunately, they're out for the money. One thing I have to say about coaching when I was with Tom Ferry is, you have to, I'm not good at deadlines, being, and it's hard to motivate people. It really is. You've got to, being a coach, you have to motivate people and get them to do what you want to do. And there's a trick to that. So anyway, that's my share. And thank you for having this room, Joe. And have a great day, and talk to you soon.
Well, I appreciate that, Deborah, because you know what? There's no one you can pay for motivation. I don't care how many Tony Robbins courses you take. You leave the room, you're motivated in the room, then you leave. You still have to stay motivated. Tony Robbins is not holding your hand for the rest of your life.
Exactly, Joe. So true.
The mindset of a successful real estate professional is crucial, navigating challenges and opportunities of the market. Long-term vision, risk management, focusing on cash flow, calculated decision making, patience and discipline, adaptability, continuous learning. Right now, I'm learning about my Google Analytics and learning about my Facebook groups and learning about my LinkedIn and learning about video work that we need to do and leveraging that for inbound lead traffic and lead generation and meeting new people and following. I have 25 more people I got to follow up with that I met on Thursday and Friday. That's short-term goals. I got other long-term goals. I got to be at National Association of Realtors. I got to be at Triple Play. I got to be at Ohio REIA. I got to be at the New York Real Estate Investor Expo. There's things I need to accomplish. I'm going to meet a very diversified group of people, and I got to stay even keeled and stay focused. You got to stay focused. You got to stay calm. You're going to deal with some clowns, and you're going to deal with some really great people. You got to understand the power of your location, the networking, the collaboration. What's the exit and entrance strategies? Embrace delayed gratification. Building a profitable real estate business takes time. The right mindset, you're willing to delay the immediate gratification. Everybody's so worried about being recognized. I don't need to be a Facebook legend in my own mind. This room was derived by other really bad rooms that are out there because we're very consistent in our subject matter. We're giving back. There's no agenda. There's no hard selling. And I feel like I have the great people have stuck around and the questionable people are not here anymore. And that kind of speaks for itself. Sometimes silence answers all questions. Right? Think about what I'm saying. Silence sometimes answers all questions. And that's real estate business 101. There's a lot of people out there that will be Flickr friends or Flickr business associations. They're in your world for a flicker. Jerry Seinfeld made a really great point a couple weeks, it was like a month or two ago when he interviewed him. Whatever you have to say with somebody right now will not be remembered 2 weeks from now. They'll forget about it. We're so distracted by so many other things. Just stay in the now, stay in the present as a real estate professional, and you'll identify who you could resonate with, whether it's a coaching perspective or a mentoring perspective. Just follow up with people and just see how they're doing. Do just a check-in. Hey, how's everything going? Hope all is well. What is the harm with that? That might go better. That somebody might be having a really shitty day, whether they're being coached or mentored, and they just get that nice email from you, and they just feel like, wow, somebody thought about me today. I'm going to answer that email. Sometimes you don't even get a response by some people. That's okay. Busy people return all calls and emails and texts. People that tell you that they're busy are traditionally in disorder and traditionally are not accountable for their actions. Joe, some final thoughts to our discussion this morning. Be real estate coached or mentored.
Hey, Joe, really good conversation, right? And as it's been pointed out all the way through, there are mentors and coaches that serve for various different aspects, right? Be mindful who you're getting the information from, who you're hiring or who you're talking to, and validate the information that's getting to you. But it can help you and it can hinder you if you get the wrong person, right? So just really good nuggets, really good information for those that are listening out there, as always, every week, Joe.
Joe, thank you very much. And I want to thank our sponsors today. I want to thank Mr. Yarel Perkins of Perkatech, your social media strategist, Miss Linda Pelagas with Realty 411, providing national events and a national publication through Realty 411 throughout the country. And then I want to thank MB Capital, providing unsecured business lines of credit for real estate professionals throughout the country. And then I want to thank Lenmark, where I'm a senior loan analyst, providing asset-based lending in the DSCR, fixed to rent, fixed to flip, new construction, mixed use, multifamily. And we're here every Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and every Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All our downloads are on the link up above. You can catch 70-plus podcasts. And actually, guys, the #1 podcast where it all started was where Joe Martell interviewed me. #1 podcast started off several months ago. So catch Joe live in person with me 70 podcasts ago. And you can check out my information as well, josephscarice.com. Connect with everybody that was willing to take the time and give their insight and advisory to and suggestions. This is completely unscripted by all these moderators. So please keep that in mind and reach out to them and set up that strategy discussion. And my quote this morning, which I love, Gary V, you can build an empire and be an unbelievable business person without compromising kindness. Everybody have a beautiful Sunday morning. See you next weekend. And I'll be ending the room in the next 30 seconds.